What's up guys, Steve here, and some of you have been asking me what's my take on what's going on right now, what's going to happen with the markets, how should investors be responding, and so I wanted to take this moment to address some of your guys' questions and respond to them and share with you guys my thoughts. And those of you guys who know me know that I'm a real estate investor, been investing for 4 years, but I'm not a real estate guru or expert. I'm not an economist and I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you what's going to happen. I'm just going to share with you guys my thoughts, what I think is going to take place with the markets and how we can respond to that. I know a lot of you guys want to know what I think is going to happen with the real estate market and the stock market, but I want to start first and foremost with what I think is the most important thing, and that is taking precaution for your health and safety for yourself and your family. Okay, that's the most important thing right now. I'd say please err on the side of cautious, be safe rather than sorry. Do everything that they're telling you to do, because even if you're not one of the high risk people that they're talking about, know that you have parents and you have grandparents and other people do too. And the last thing you want to do is contract this sickness and then pass it around to others that are more susceptible to having a worse case with it. So please take that into consideration. I mean, realize that this is something that we should be taking seriously. This isn't like your average normal sickness. If you're over the age of 50, you're considered high risk. And those that are the age of 80, I think it was something like 70% of them aren't making it through this sickness. So really take that into consideration. Please don't go about like, oh, nothing's just going on. It's your everyday thing. Please use caution. Fear is not something we want to do. We do want to be cautious, but not go into fear, because right now the whole entire world is pretty much consumed with fear. And it really struck me yesterday because I was out at a project site for work and I got a call from my wife saying, I can't find water anywhere. And I told her, oh, don't worry about it. I'm nearby a Walmart. As soon as I get done on this project site, I'm going to go over to Walmart and I'll check and I'll grab some water. So I get out of my car and I'm walking up to the Walmart, and people are like not full running, but jogging in and out of Walmart. And I'm like, that's strange. And as I go inside, I go to the water aisle and I walk over there and all the bottled water is totally gone. And as I'm standing there getting ready to text her that it's not there either, somebody runs around the corner on their cell phone and then they shout into the phone, there's no water here either. And they run off. And I was just like, whoa, what is going on? And like, I could just like feel anxiety. And then I started thinking to myself, like, oh, should I be stocking up on water? Why is there a run on water? And as I go out of the aisle, I hear some Walmart workers talking to some people. They're saying, no, there's no toilet paper here either. We are totally out of toilet paper. And I thought, why are people stocking up on toilet paper? Should I be stocking up on toilet paper too? And as I'm walking around the corner, I see that all of the top ramen cup of noodles are all gone as well. And then I just started to feel like this anxiety, like what is going on? Like, did I miss something? Should I be doing it too? Like I texted her like, okay, I got into this mode like, okay, what can I do to get these things? They're out. I even started thinking to myself like, should I go back to my office and start taking the toilet paper out of the bathrooms in my office? Like, what is going on? And it's just like, I received this like fear, and I think that's pretty much what it is that there's just fear spread rampant all over the world right now in anticipation of what's taking place. Because when you think about it right now, we haven't even felt the full effects of what's taking place. The sickness is still small, but the fear of what it could do is just running rampant. And even in the markets right now, we're just experiencing the beginning effects of it, but we haven't even experienced the full effects of how it's going to impact these businesses. This is just the anticipation of what's to come, the fear that people are going through, and that is really a bad place to be making decisions. We need to take a step back and be cautious, but not fearful and not running crazy. And I definitely would recommend, yes, go ahead and stock up a couple weeks. I want to say that they said the quarantine time for the other countries where they're saying that they can rid themselves of the is like a couple weeks. So I would say, yeah, I mean, go get some stuff, use precaution, get some water, get some non-perishable foods and goods, and get some toilet paper, some sanitizing things, and do like 2 weeks worth, but don't go nuts. You don't need a stockpile, like it's the end of the world. But let's all use precaution. Let's be safe. Now, in regards to how this is going to impact the real estate market, in my personal opinion, for those of you who don't know, the stock market and the real estate market cycles are different. They operate differently. So the stock market is going through this crazy volatility and this crash. And yesterday we had the worst stock market day in points since like 3 decades ago. But the real estate market is at all-time highs. And the Fed's announced an emergency rate cut, and that's actually good for real estate. So right now, if you're thinking about refinancing, if you're thinking about buying a rental property in a linear market that cash flows, now is actually a good time to respond to this, because when things kind of stable off and get better, I think that those rates will start to go back up a little bit, and that will negatively impact the real estate market. So right now, if you're thinking about doing that, I would suggest it. However, since we're at all-time highs, me personally, I'm not buying in cyclical markets. So markets like California or other markets that go up and down really dramatically, since it's so high, I feel like we're overdue for a little bit of a correction. So I wouldn't buy there. That's just my personal take. Unless, you know, you're really finding a super good deal, then I'd say go for it. And if you can get a loan on it, even better. The real estate market is doing really well. The stock market is all over the place, a lot of volatility, and right now it's a little bit dangerous to be shorting the stock market. It's kind of like gambling. They're saying you're trying to catch a falling knife, which is what I've been doing, to be honest, because I saw the volatility and I was just like, oh man, cool, it's going up and down, up and down. I can try to catch it on the down and then resell on the up. And I was doing that with Amazon. I was throwing in a bunch of money and I was buying a bunch of Amazon stocks, and then I would sell it and I made a couple $100. And then it would go down and I would buy again, and then it would go up a little bit and I'd sell it and I'd make like 20, $50. And then I did it and then I lost $50. And so it's just all over the place. And I realized, you know what, I should probably stop doing this, because if this is what's causing it, I don't see the end of this anytime soon, to be honest. So I need to probably stop playing around before I end up losing a bunch of money. So I stopped doing that. I came out on top a couple $100, but I don't recommend that you guys do that unless you're just a gambling goofball like myself. But if you guys are looking to invest in the stock market long term, this is probably what you can consider just like a little bump in the road. Things are down right now. A few months out, maybe a year, maybe a few years, depending on how long this goes, you'll look back and be glad that you bought to hold long term. If that's the case, I think that's fine. That's great. Buy in slowly. I forget what the term is, like cashing in or something on the down, where it's like if you're going to invest $10,000 right now, rather than investing it all at one time on one day, consider splitting it up maybe into 10 different pieces on 10 different days, or you do $1,000 here, the next day $1,000 there, and you're buying as it's either going down or up, so that way you're kind of spreading your money out and you're not committing all to one time. And then it goes down and then you get all emotional, or it goes up and you get all emotional and you're freaking out. Kind of spreading it out helps. So take that into consideration as well. So those are pretty much my thoughts. I just say be cautious. Make sure that you're following what they're saying to do so that we're not spreading this around. Go ahead and stock up, because you want to be safe rather than sorry. I mean, if we do go into a quarantine thing where they're not letting you go outside, you want to make sure that you've got a little bit of reserves as far as like food and water and things. And the most important thing is that you and your family are safe and healthy. And as far as the investing in the markets go, real estate market's doing really well. If you're going to refi, I think now's a great time. And stock market, if you're investing long term, that's good. And if you're a gambler and you're okay with losing money, sure, go ahead and short the market if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it. So those are my thoughts, and thank you guys for sticking around this long. If you have, this is more of like a vlog thing for me today. It's not going to be edited. I'm just kind of doing it on the fly and responding, and I apologize, I'm in the middle of a move, so it's a little bit chaotic, but I wanted to share with you guys my thoughts for those of you that were interested. Hope you guys stay safe and are blessed. And if you like this, do me a favor. It helps on my channel when you hit the like button. Just take a second. And if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. So you guys have a great weekend. God bless. This is Steve.